What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Friday, June 12th. These picks apply for the DraftKings Showdown slate. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, real quick for those who don't know how these simulated slates work, everything works the same. You build a full lineup using the players available in the slate. The only difference is the fantasy points each player scores is a fantasy score from any game that player has played so far this year. Only players with at least 15 games played are in the player pool. Pretty simple. They just take a score at random from previous games that player has played, and that's it. So knowing how that works, we've added some tools to Draft Dashboard so you can see all the possible outcomes of scores from each player, and we show the percent chance that the player has to score in each point range. So pretty handy. You can hover over the Sim Scores button and see right here exactly what scores this player can get for this contest. It will be one of these at random. And then you can see what percent chance they have to score in these point ranges. Okay, remember, we have a daily cheat sheet for esports for League of Legends, and that's linked from the Sports tab right at the top of Draft Dashboard. And we now have a cheat sheet for Korean baseball, NASCAR, and the MMA, and you can find those cheat sheets linked from the Draft Dashboard news. Okay guys, let's take a look at this DraftKings showdown between the San Antonio Spurs and the Utah Jazz. I'm going to start off by giving you the top value play on the slate. Now normally I wouldn't pick this guy as a value play, but I was trying a bunch of lineups that I'll show you at the end of this video, and the only way I was able to fit all the studs that I wanted into my lineup is to play Jakob Poeltl, projected at 18.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 7 times the value. He's 2,600 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. So he has a lot of low-end risk here, a 41% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. But if you can dodge this coin flip, he has a 53% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points and a 5% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So your odds are better than a coin flip. You have a 59% chance for him to score 15 fantasy points or more, most likely around 20 to 25 fantasy points. So he'll crush value for you here at 2,600 DraftKings salary. The other two value plays that I like here, I'm not going to go over the stats to these guys, they're just mediocre value plays, is Mike Conley and DeJounte Murray. Mike Conley is 4,600 DraftKings salary. DeJounte Murray is 5,400 DraftKings salary. Both of these guys projected around 26 to 27 fantasy points here. Mike Conley is a little bit better of a value play. He's only 4,600 DraftKings salary, whereas DeJounte Murray is 5,400. But anyways, those two players make decent value plays if you need to go there. I'm going to go with Jakob Poeltl because it just allows me to open up the salary to this lineup, and I'm going to show it to you at the end of this video, but we're going to fit all the studs in here. It's going to be a nice lineup. So moving up in salary here, I like Joe Ingles, projected at 24.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.2 times the value. He's 5,800 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 22% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 52% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. And a 27% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So I didn't have to go here. I didn't have to use Joe Ingles in my lineup, but he's another decent value play if you need to go there. So I like Joe Ingles here at 5,800 DraftKings salary. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. So look guys, I know there's not a lot of sports playing right now, but we are posting a daily cheat sheet for esports for the League of Legends contests, and we just added these new DFS tools for the NBA simulated slates. We're going to be updating our tools to help you pick the best players for these sim sports, and I think these tools are going to give you a big advantage. There's no human element here. This is a stats game. This is a math problem. This is where our tools can really help you identify the numbers, the percent chance these players are going to score within these point ranges, so you know what you're getting into with each pick. Okay, moving on to the studs on the slate. I was able to fit every single one of these 4 studs that I'm going to give you into my lineup because I used that Jacob Puerto play. So I like Rudy Gobert, projected at 40.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.7 times value. He's 8,600 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 21% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 48% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And a 32% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Rudy Gobert here at 8,600 DraftKings salary. The next stud that I like is LaMarcus Aldridge, projected at 36.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4 times value. He's 9,200 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 6% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 17% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 53% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. A 23% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So I like LaMarcus Aldridge here at 9,200 DraftKings salary. And just as a note, LaMarcus Aldridge did make my captain spot, so he makes a great captain here on this slate because he's only 9,200. He's one of the least expensive outside of Rudy Gobert, although he's got much better sim scores. Out of the top 4 studs, he's the least expensive, and he has almost as much 60-plus point upside as the other studs, and almost as much 45 to 60 point upside as them. He's really not lacking a lot when it comes to his sim scores, so that lower salary allows you to play all these studs in if you use this Jacob Puerto play. Okay, so the next stud that I like is DeMar DeRozan, projected at 39.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4 times value. He's 9,800 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 15% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 66% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. An 18% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So I like DeMar DeRozan here at 9,800 DraftKings salary. And the stud that I like the least out of all these, just because he's priced way up and his sim scores don't really justify that price boost, but he did make my lineup because he's got some of the best top-end scores on the slate. So I like Donovan Mitchell, projected at 38.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 3.6 times value. He's 10,600 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 2% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 19% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 58% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. A 20% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So I like Donovan Mitchell here at 10,600 DraftKings salary. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck. Okay guys, if you're getting any value from this video, please hit that red subscribe button. We put out new fantasy basketball videos every single day. So if you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification, you won't miss out on any of our new fantasy basketball and fantasy football videos. Tons of free stuff coming your way. It only takes a second, and it helps us push out more fantasy content for you guys to consume each and every day. It's because of you subscribers that make this possible. So thank you for supporting this channel. This is a quick reminder, you should be reading the comments of this video. We have some savvy basketball fans who watch these videos, and they often give great plays and call me out when my picks are wrong. Wisdom of the crowd is a great way to get a feel for what players the field likes in today's NBA slate. We also have a DFS tool that shows you what players our members like for today's slate, so you can come on in and check that out.